Hey there, I'm glad you're here. My name is Chris, and this is the Sons of Sever YouTube channel where there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad gear. Today, I am talking to you about a toe shoe, but this toe shoe is not from Vibram Five Fingers. This toe shoe is called the Peluva Strand. So it's from the company Peluva. They actually only make 4 shoes total as of right now, and this thing is very interesting. Even as far as toe shoes go, you would expect toe shoes to more or less be similar to each other, right? You'd think that Vibram making their toe shoes and another company making toe shoes, that they would turn out somewhat similar. These things could not be more different, and I'm gonna do a little bit of comparison to the V-Train 2.0 from Vibram Five Fingers. There will be a card up here for you to go and watch my full review of the V-Train 2.0. At some point, there's going to be a dedicated toe-to-toe video where I make comparisons directly between these two shoes, but today's main subject is the Peluva Strand, and we'll just be using the V-Train 2.0 for some reference. One day, I was just scrolling through Instagram, and because Eric and I work a lot in the barefoot shoe space, I get a lot of suggestions of different companies like Vivo Barefoot and Saguaro, and then one day I got a recommendation for the Peluva Strand. It caught my eye for some very obvious reasons. Now, looking at it from the front, obviously, toe shoe. Looking at it from the side, it kind of looks like your more traditional training shoe. Now that is what this is meant to be. It's meant to be the barefoot answer to a training shoe, similar to what the V-Train 2.0 is supposed to do, but I think it kind of looks and acts a little bit more like a more traditional training shoe. So we're gonna go ahead and start on the website for Peluva. They've got 4 total shoes, so we'll talk about that a little bit in a second, but we're gonna focus on all of the specs for the Strand to start off with. First comparison I wanna make between this guy and the V-Train 2.0 is that this is 7.2 ounces. The V-Train is actually 7.8 ounces, so it is a little bit lighter, and it does feel that way. The next thing I wanna talk about is its best for category. So it says that it is best for walking, hiking, urban trekking, cycling, and almost all gym workouts. The piece that I want to dissect out of there and just kind of toss over my shoulder is hiking. If it's like a little nature hike with not a lot of elevation and maybe you have like a paved path, yes, this thing doesn't deal well with water or dirt, and the upper is extremely soft, which is definitely a benefit to a training shoe, but not great for a hiker. So we're gonna toss that one to the side and say that it does pretty well in all those other things. Next, we have our minimalist attributes that it lists. It says 0 drop, which we love, 9mm stack height, and the Peluva 300 series midsole, which of their 4 shoes, 2 have the 300 series midsole, which is just the thinner midsole, and 2 have the 500 series midsole, which is just the thicker midsole. Touching briefly on those other offerings, one is called the Malibu and is basically the Strand but with a thicker midsole, and it is slip-on, so there are no laces. I'll be interested in getting that one in for review as well if they come out with some other colors. Currently they only have white and black, and those do not tickle my fancy. They also have a boot that is called the Desert Boot, and it comes in just a like tan color, and it also has that 500 series midsole. And then the other 300 series midsole that they have is basically the Strand button leather, and it's meant to be like a dress shoe. Going back to those minimalist attributes, obviously I love the 0 drop. The 9mm stack height is a very nice stack height in my opinion. It's kind of a very lukewarm stack height. It's not too thin, it's not too thick, it's kind of just right. I also want to comment on the upper material. You heard me talk about it as being soft, and it is. It is soft and it is breathable. It's almost cool to the touch, and it feels really nice when you are being active in this shoe. Last 2 things that I want to touch in is colors. So this comes in white, navy, that's this guy, heather, which I have a pair of those already as well, and black. Here are the heather ones. Pretty nice. I like those 2 colorways a lot. And the very last thing that I want to touch on is the price point, and that is 140 USD. That is compared to the 130 USD on the V-Train 2.0. The next thing I want to talk about is my use cases for the shoe. But before we get into that, I want to talk about some affiliates. The first affiliate gives you more of a traditional take on shoes, and that is Lems Shoes. This is the Primal Pursuit mid-ankle waterproof. It is a very rugged hiker, but you still have all those minimalist qualities that you want. It is zero drop, has a wide toe box, and a very nice and flexible sole, but it has a very rugged profile for going on really nasty hikes. Lems also has shoes that fit into the training and running and casual categories. So if you're interested in checking out some really good looking, good for your feet shoes, head down to the link in the description and head over to Lems Shoes. The other affiliate that I want to talk about is Bluetti. So this is the EB3A portable power station. There's a lot of things that I love about this thing. One is the versatility. Look at all those ports. It's got a 100-watt fast charging USB-C for your phone. It also has wireless charging on the top, which I didn't find out until I nonchalantly slapped my phone up here and then noticed it was charging. I didn't even know that was a feature of this when we asked for it from Bluetti. The EB3A comes in at a very competitive price point compared to some other companies out there on the market like Jackery and EcoFlow. A comparable model to this one is going to run you anywhere from $400 to $1,000 with those companies, whereas right now, looking at their website, the EB3A is on sale for $209. It usually retails for $299. We love using this thing to keep our drone batteries charged while we're out getting content for review videos like this. We also love using this to pump up our paddleboards with the paddleboard pump that Retrospec sent out to us. There are a lot of really cool uses for this guy when it comes to outdoor and adventure. So if you're interested in checking out the EB3A, head down to the link in the description. It'll take you directly to the product page for this guy. Now let's get into my use cases for the Peluva Strand. So when I first got it, I thought to myself, training shoe, lifting weights, totally up my alley, let's do it. I believe I received this pair on a Saturday, and I lift Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So immediately took these things to the gym to start breaking them in and seeing how they did, and I loved them. Looking at the bottom of this guy, you'll notice that it is very flat. If you lift weights often, you know that it's nice to be very flat to the ground as you do so. Being as connected to the ground as you can be and as anchored to the ground as you can be are the best ways to generate good force through the floor. Not only is it flat, but it also has some good cuts in the rubber and some good contouring between those black sections that allow it to still maintain a good amount of grip. Needless to say, I love these things for the gym, especially with that super soft, breathable upper that we talked about. It's been a delight for lifting weights. The other thing that I wanted this for was road running because of that 9mm stack height. Stack heights is an interesting conversation to have when it comes to toe shoes because the only other competitor in the space is Vibram Five Fingers, and their stack heights are extremely minimal. We did a review of their V-Run Retro. If you're interested in seeing that, then hit the card up here to navigate over to that review. But one of the things that we talked about was how minimal that sole was, translated to some sore feet from our feet slapping the ground a lot. When you're running on modern surfaces, asphalt and concrete, you do want just a little bit more cushioning in order to absorb those forces, and the 9mm stack height of the Peluva Strand does a really good job for that. This specific one, the blue model, I've put, as of my filming of this review, almost 70 miles on this guy. Peluva has actually recruited me with our contact that we have with them in testing this guy out with the wear and tear when it comes to long running. So giving him a look over, you'll notice that we don't have any separation of the rubber from the shoe so far, and the bottom doesn't even show significant signs of wear. So I'm planning on pushing these things to that traditional abandonment point for running shoes, which is about 250 miles, and we will see how they look then. But I really enjoy running in these things. When we first started working with Vibram, I was excited to run in those because I like the idea of having my toes separated. It's very comfortable and it feels like it helps my landing, and it feels just healthy for my feet overall to run in toe shoes. So that excited me very much when I came across these and noticed the thicker stack height, and so far they're working out great for me. The last thing I will say about them is that my wife doesn't hate them, which goes back to the first point that I made at the beginning of the video, that they kind of look like a normal shoe, like a normal Nike or Reebok training shoe, until you notice that those toes are separated. And honestly, unless you look closely at them, you might not even notice that to begin with. So, at least for me, these are wife approved for casual wear. My final opinion on these things is they're good to go. You should grab yourself a pair. We are not affiliates with Peluva as of me making this video. Maybe we will be by the time we actually put this video out there. So either way, head down to whatever link we put in the description if you're interested in checking out the Peluva Strand, and navigate over to their website. You can do a little bit of a deeper dive, but I like these a lot. One last thing with these. Again, look forward to a future review, a toe-to-toe comparison between the Peluva Strand and the Vibram V-Train 2.0. They are both training shoes. They have a lot of comparable features, and I'm gonna let you know which one I like best. Folks, if you like this video, we would appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. There are a bunch of places where you can get content from Eric and I. First one is our Instagram page, where you can see the most up-to-date content on what products we're currently working with. You can also follow along with us on Strava, where you can see what activities we are doing and what gear we are using during those activities. Eric has his own YouTube channel called A Pilot's Life for Me that focuses on really cool landscape drone videography. And I have my own YouTube channel called SeverShoots and an Instagram page to go along with it. That channel focuses on gun industry reviews and preparedness gear, so if you're interested in that, follow along with me there. We're glad you're here, we appreciate your view, and as always, we will catch you in the mountains.